Hello and welcome to episode number 53 of No Whining. We have wines today coming from France as well as Italy. Let's get into our first one. This is a 2018 Trimbach Pinot Gris Reserve. This is around $35. It is coming from Alsace in the northeast of France. It's right along the German border. It is a continental climate and there is a large variety of soil types here. A huge variety, actually. It's a really fascinating region geologically speaking. The Vosges mountain range protects Alsace from westerly storms, keeping the area rather warm and dry throughout autumn, which is actually quite similar to the Front Range here in Colorado where I live, although Alsace is about 4,000 feet lower in elevation and certainly much farther north. Okay, protection from the Vosges Mountains means grapes have a longer hang time so they can fully ripen. This equates to riper flavors and higher sugar content that ultimately ferments into higher alcohol levels in the final wine. Alsace has gone back and forth between French and German rule a number of times, hence the predominant German architecture and Germanic dialects spoken. Here's some information from the tech sheet. Since 1626, the Trimbach family has been a reference point for fine Alsace wine. They are also one of the largest owners of Grand Cru vineyards in the region, which account for an impressive third of their total production. At every level, their wines embody the celebrated Trimbach style: structured, long-lived, fruit-driven, dry, elegant, and above all, balanced. In 2023, Trimbach was certified HVE3 organic, reflecting their dedication to creating the highest caliber expressions of their terroir. Winemaking. The wine is fermented to complete dryness in temperature-controlled stainless steel and concrete vats. There is no secondary malolactic fermentation in order to maintain as much natural acidity as possible. Bottles remain in the cellar for 3 years minimum before reaching the marketplace, ensuring the wine is ready to drink upon release. That is fantastic and exactly what I like to hear. Let's get into this wine. This wine is clear. I'm going to call this a medium amber color, but it's really like a gold with some copper hues in here. And the viscosity there on the sides looks to be pretty high. So I'm going to call that high viscosity. Let's take it to the schnoz. This wine is clean. It is developing, I'm going to say medium plus on the aroma intensity, starting out with like ripe candied peaches and apricots. Okay, some fresh pear, a little bit of passion fruit, some chamomile and honeysuckle on the floral side. All right, it's certainly got a honeyed type character to it, nutty as well, so maybe like sweet almond, marzipan, that type of thing. Okay, that is it for the schnoz. Time to send it to the jaws. This is one of those wines that smells really sweet, right? Like the fruit character, the aromatics, these delicious fruity notes, but it's actually a very dry wine. Full body, high alcohol for sure. Not as surprised in Alsace as we were talking about in kind of the preamble there. Acidity, I'm going to go with probably medium plus. And it has this beautiful, round, silky texture. I'm going to say the flavors are pronounced in this, and the finish, again, it's sticking around. This is really nice. Medium plus on that. So this wine is very good, wonderful texture and beautiful sweet flavors to it. I do want to note that this wine, I think, is possibly a touch warm or hot. And what I mean by that is the alcohol, I'm noticing it just a little bit. And what that suggests to me is the wine is not perfectly imbalanced. So that's what's keeping it from being, you know, like an outstanding quality wine from an objective standpoint as I'm kind of evaluating it here. And the finish could also be a little bit longer. So those are the only two little pieces that it would need for me to be at the level of outstanding. I don't think that this is suitable for bottle aging. The strength of this wine is its fruit. The fruit character, it's really, really beautiful. And I like this wine a heck of a lot. So I hope you are enjoying this as well. I do think it is a great way to kick off the episode. Let's go to our second wine. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have ourselves a lovely bottle of Icardi Surì Vigin Piemonte Brachetto. This is around $20 and this is coming from Piemonte. This is a region in northwest Italy. We actually did an episode on this not too long ago. I think we were tasting a Barolo, but this is a moderate continental climate. And this is a red sparkling wine made in the Frizzante style, which is lightly sparkling, from 100% Brachetto grapes. Now, Brachetto is kind of like the red counterpart to Moscato d'Asti. And if you go back to episode 47, we tasted one of those. And if you were with me, that was a really, really enjoyable wine. Now, here's some information from that episode where I talked about the Asti method for creating sparkling wine, because that is relevant here. Because it's much different than how traditional methods sparkling wines such as champagne are going to be made. In the Asti method, the juice is pressed, cooled, and stored until needed for production. Then it is warmed up and fermented in stainless steel tanks that are sealed partway through the fermentation to capture the remainder of the CO2 or the bubbles. As soon as the desired level of fizz and residual sugar is reached, the fermentation is stopped by chilling the wine and then filtering out the remaining yeast. This locks in the low alcohol level and preserves the remaining sugar because the yeast are no longer present or able to convert the sugar into alcohol. Now, I will say that I encountered perhaps the most worthless tech sheet ever on the producer's website, but I was able to hopefully salvage a couple of details, and here they are. Vinification, light pressing, quick maceration on the skins, early racking, re-fermentation at controlled temperature, aging in stainless steel. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into wine number 2. This wine is clear. It's actually a pale tawny in color. I'm gonna say, gosh, maybe medium minus viscosity on the sides of the glass there. Let's send it to El Schnazzo. This wine is clean. It is developing actually a little bit, which surprises me. That caught me off guard, but pronounced aromas starting out with, I'm gonna say, dried strawberry, candied raspberry, a little bit of red currant, getting a little bit of dried candied cherry as well. Gosh, even some fresh violets and some fresh lilac flower. Okay, caramel, licorice, even getting a little bit of walnut. So these are not things that I expected, because Brachetto is typically going to be like a fairly youthful wine, meant to be drunk early, but this has a few years of age on it, right? Like this is a 6-year-old wine at this point. So I am very much looking forward to how this presents on the jaws. Let's take it there. Okay, sweet, medium minus body, I'm gonna say on this. The alcohol is really, really, really low. The bottle says it is 6.5%, so certainly very low on the alcohol side. Medium plus on the acid. The flavors are pretty darn pronounced. And again, like I didn't expect that. The quality of this wine is surprising me very, very much. The finish on this, however, is only medium, so it's a little bit lacking in that regard. But on the palate, this has kind of like these coffee and mocha flavors. It's really, really, really interesting. So this wine is very good. Beautiful, soft texture and integration of flavors, wonderful sweetness, and acid balance. I really like that about this. I certainly don't think that this is suitable for bottle aging any longer. It's already kind of at the upper limit for sure. So that is my take on that, but I really, really am enjoying this, right? Like much more so than I expected to. I like it a lot more than the Moscato d'Asti that we had a few episodes ago. I think it was back, like I said, in episode 47. I'm enjoying this a heck of a lot more, and I didn't expect to. So this is a very nice surprise. Let's bring both of these wines in. I am curious which wine you like the most. These are two wonderful wines, quite frankly, in my book. These are pretty much neck and neck. I am, however, going to give the nod to the Brachetto. This is very flavorful, powerful aromatics, flavor profile as well. Like I said, great integration. Like the mouthfeel on this is fantastic. And it's just interesting because it's got some development on it, right? So some aging characteristics and flavors that were just unexpected. And I've never had a Brachetto before, so part of that might be why I'm choosing it, because it's just a delightful experience, and I didn't think it would be. So heck to the yeah, but also this Pinot Gris is pretty magnificent. The only thing, like I said, I could fault it on, it might be a little bit hot on the side of the alcohol. The finish could be a touch longer, and that would make it even better. But these are both winners in my book for sure. They will make great contenders when we, in our next episode, are picking the best wines out of the entire last wine list and the last 12 that we have tasted. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that before you go, you check out the videos that I included links to in the description. Again, I really do spend a lot of time to curate and pull together some videos very much directly related to this episode as supplemental materials to help you really get a feel for the region that these wines are coming from, the winemakers, and everything that goes into that process. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you back here in episode 54.